everybody, welcome back to Ride with Lance. Today's a nice Saturday ride. What are we doing? I am on the Lectric XP4. And I am going to do kind of an informal battery range test. I'm going to just use battery, throttle, put it in cruise control, kind of like I did with the Nomad 2X, and see how it does. Cruise around the neighborhood. Look at this. We got some Halloween stuff going on. He's really into it. Let's go around the neighborhood first before we set cruise control and see if there's any other Halloween stuff up. It's just, you know, at the end of September here, so at least he was getting a head start on it. I'm not seeing anything else yet. Like I said, I really haven't done a range test, sort of say, because it's always subjective, but on the XP4. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to kind of cruise all over the place. I don't see any, but let's go down here. We're going to kind of, like I said, kind of cruise all over the place. Maybe stop a little later and get a cold drink to bring home. But I'm just going to cruise around and check out my neighborhood here real quick. And maybe get on a bike path or other streets and just let her rip. I'm going full throttle, which, you know, it tops out at 20. I don't have this unlocked, so keeping it in stock. Keeping it California legal. We'll get across the street and we'll hit that trail over here. And we'll get this informal battery test on the way. Let's switch views. Switch to the POV view now. I got to get up here through a few turns before I can set the cruise control. But I want to talk about this XP4 too during this ride. And I did start this ride with a full battery. It still says 100%. But before I go too much further, let me check the mileage. Trip distance, 1 mile, okay. For those of you who love Starbucks, I guess you're getting into that pumpkin spice latte time of year. And then whatever concoctions they have for Thanksgiving time and Christmas time. Now, you know, like I said in my previous videos, or my previous video where I upgraded, I put the bigger handlebars on. Much nicer for me, definitely nice, you know, wider grip. Should we go up or should we go down? Let's go up and across the bridge. Yes, I got the Sun Tour suspension seat post on with the blue end comfort seat. My favorite comfort seat. My only complaint about the XP4 is I wish they would have put better forks on it. These things, they're okay on this, but they're noisy. You know, they seem to rattle around. And I can't tell if it's the internals, like the springs inside rattling around, or something else. I've checked everything else on the outside, and everything seems tight. So I can only assume it's coming from the inside of the fork. That thing I really like about this is these Star Union brakes. Freaking fantastic. Look at that. I mean, see. Yeah, I guess that's a kind of a complaint, is they got to do something better about setting the cruise control. It would work fine if you had a twist throttle on the right side. But since you got the thumb throttle on the left side, then you have to hold the minus button down that's also on the left side. Because if you try and use the throttle, get up to speed, hold that minus button down, releasing the throttle, it doesn't set. So you got to do that. I'm going to do that. Let's see what I get. Set. So complaints about the XP4. Okay. The cruise control combination, definitely for sure. Something's got to be done about that. The front forks. They at least need quieter front forks. I don't know if you hear this. I'll go here. It's just, you know, you just hear all kinds of noise. I don't know if it picked it up there. But it's like every time you hit a bump, you just hear rattling. That and the kickstand. I don't know what they can do about that. They can put a better one on than that. It just looks flimsy. But I know what they're doing is they're trying to keep the price down on certain things so they can give you the best price possible, and I can appreciate that. But what else? Do I have any complaints about the XP4? No, I don't. It's just an all-around fantastic 20-inch wheel folding bike. All right, it says we've used 10% of the battery. Let's do a check real quick. I just want to see if I stop, let it relax for a moment. If the percentage creeps back up. Let's see what it does. All right, well, I sat there for a minute or so and it didn't come up, so it's at 90%. And let's see, we've gone 3.5 miles. I do, though, highly recommend getting the Sun Tour seat post suspension and the Blue and Comfort seat combination. It just makes the ride so much smoother. When you're riding like this, you really don't feel the little bumps at all. You do feel it in the front end. So we are down to 60% on the battery. Gone 10.1 miles and still going. I think now we're going to come up here in a little while, get off the bike path. Going to head over to 7-Eleven, get something cool to drink to take home for me after this ride. All right, I stopped at 7-Eleven, got a few cold drinks to take home. I'm at 50% battery. I've done 13.7 miles. Currently, I'm just cruising at 20 miles an hour, 19, 20 miles an hour, and enjoy the ride. So we're at 20% battery now, at 17.5 miles. I've got the bike pointed towards home. And we're gonna see what it does. I got a few miles to go. But I'm guessing it's gonna hit 10% well before I get home. But I'm not afraid of the power running out, because if it does, this is an easy bike to pedal. I can tell you at 20%, it's backed off the power a lot. I can get about 12 to 13 miles an hour out of it on flat ground. It's trying to conserve power now. Trying to help you out if you're stuck and you're trying to get home. Yep, now the battery's gone down to 10%. So, fortunately, we're only probably less than a mile from home. And I got a little downhill coming. We are barely squeaking it home. Got one more turn to do and we're doing a whopping 9 miles an hour. Still says 10%. I got it wide open, full throttle, still in turbo. And here we are. Okay, what have we done? We've done 19.3 miles an hour. It says 10%. I'm guessing more, probably down towards 7 or 8%. But it was a fun ride. It was fun doing it. So, hope this was helpful for you guys. But you guys have a great day, great ride, great week, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.